So this is a little personal because Nate is a friend, so I was actually excited that they asked me to read this, and hopefully I can pronounce it.
Say it from the heart.
I can say it from the heart. With over a decade of experience in business management and technology consulting, Nate works to uplift individuals and businesses through the implementation of cutting-edge technology and cybersecurity measures. Based in the heart of the Midwest, particularly in Greater Cleveland, Nate is driven by the belief that safeguarding businesses from cyber threats is paramount to their success and growth. He's the president and founder of Astoria since December 2015. Nate leads a team dedicated to providing top-notch cybersecurity and technology management services to businesses across the region. His mission is to empower businesses with the tools and knowledge to thrive in an ever-evolving digital landscape. In addition to his work as owner of Astoria, Nate is also a board member of the Alliance Rotary and Chief Technology Officer of the Alliance Habitat Board. Nate Sheen.
Well, thank you very much. That was the best introduction. I'm going to take Brooke on the road. She's going to introduce me everywhere. She's great. So, hey, how's everybody doing today? It's nice to meet you. Some familiar faces in the room, and then some people I've never met. And that's okay. I'm pretty friendly. I don't bite too much. So I think it's really interesting. I was listening, you've got the Excel class from my friend Eric coming up here later, I think later this month in April. And so a little story about me, I had started the landscape company because it's really easy to mow people's grass. And I say that in confidence now, it would be way easier to mow your grass than to do what I do every day, but I like really complicated things, obviously. But I had these complicated lists and everything for how I was routing in Excel because I was being cheap and I wanted to use Excel because it was cheap. I already had a license that my mom had, so I just took it from her, right? Because that's what you do when you're a small business owner. You kind of just borrow or steal whatever you can. And there was the local trade school had an Excel class, a one-on-one for an hour. It was $25, and I was just stuck. And I said, I went down there and I talked to the guy, paid the $25. He showed me in 5 minutes, and I kind of took off. And we talked for the rest of the session, and he convinced me to come and do the IT course that fall. It was a one-on-one class with him. I'd shadow the IT manager. I would get a trade school certificate, and I was like, I really hate mowing grass. I really don't love plowing snow. This sounds fun. I might be good at this, and that kind of kicked it off. So what I'm saying is, if you take the Excel class, you might be following in my footsteps, okay? So come and join me. It's a lot warmer in the winter over here. So we talked about this. This is my family on the screen. This is my team back in Alliance there. It's actually my son's 8th birthday today. I said, do you want to come with me and see me speak in Massillon? And apparently he got a better offer where you get to go to the park, play with your friends, and then mom gives you McDonald's. So that's where he's at. So you learned a little bit about Astoria thanks to Brooke. We don't have to go through that. I really love what we do. If you don't know what Astoria means, you can look up a definition, but Astoria is a name that means like a hawk. And I found this one day. I was wanting to rebrand the company. We started under a different name, and it means like a hawk. And so I was like, I love this imagery. So when you come and be a part of Astoria, whether we help you with consulting or retain us, we look over all of your technology, and hawks are very, very aggressive. So when you build that nest for your babies, your baby ayahs, that's what they're called, don't try to get close to that hawk, because it's going to destroy you, okay? So in this imagery, I want you, if you become my client, They become my baby ayahs, and I'm going to destroy anything that comes out of it because I'm going to protect you like a hawk. We're very aggressive and protective of the people that we're there to protect. We build very, very strong nests like hawks do. And we're really about helping you be empowered as individuals and businesses through innovative technology. And I always like, I'm going to make the technology work for you. I'm not going to make you work for the technology. I think that's so important. So that's what I'm all about. So this is our agenda today. They're in Vegas. They've got a property here in Northeast Ohio. At least I think they do, unless they sold it after this story. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. So MGM has a really, really big internal IT department because they have thousands upon thousands of employees. And so there was a call to the IT department to what we would call a level 1 help desk person. So if you can turn on your computer in here and you're willing to learn, you can be a level 1 technician in about 6 to 12 months here, okay? Anybody can do that. It's a very simple job. You're typically helping users with basic functions. We typically make you go fix the printer for the 14th time for that user, and you typically reset passwords. So there was a call to the help desk, and a level 1 technician reset a password for what we call a global administrator at MGM, okay? What's a global administrator? They are God on your network. They are God in your company, okay? I have the privilege of doing that for an undisclosed amount of organizations, okay? I take the role extremely seriously, as does any global administrator in the world, okay? Unfortunately for this global administrator, he was not the one who called, nor did the level 1 help technician know that. And unfortunately for MGM and the global administrator, they didn't have what you have at your house, 2-factor authentication, set up. Well, so it got really scary for MGM really fast because they were able, through this one phone call, to launch an attack about 30 days later where they were able to ransom the entire company in multiple different ways. They were able to access the lighting systems, the elevators, the fire alarms, the hotel check-in, the website, the phone system, you name it, they were able to. And they would say, you need to pay us $10 million by 5 p.m. Pacific time. And they didn't pay them. And if you don't pay us, we're going to turn the lights off at 5:15 Pacific time. And you know what? They did. And it took MGM a few times. I think these guys have more access than we realized. And so a lot of what I do and a lot of things about what I talk about is how serious it is as a role that we have in place. And number one, I got into IT because I thought I could fix computers and do things like that. I found some really smart people that I work with, and what I've really ultimately learned, and I'm more of a process consultant than a technology consultant. Because we can set up a lot of really nice systems, they look really good, we can find out that they get used against us very, very quickly, like in the MGM hack. So you have an IT person come in, and I've learned that that means a lot of things in a lot of different places, but it should be one of the trusted positions in your company. Is just as trusted as your accountant or as your attorney should be the person setting this up. Because many times I'm not asked, are you retaining these records for logging into my systems? That should be a conversation that we have. Should I retain the records? Maybe if I'm managing it ongoing for you, but if I'm setting it up and I'm going to say bye, never see you again, now you got somebody out there that has a logins to your security panel. I was aware of a local company who's out of business now, who was actually setting up alarm panels in homes and businesses for major accounts and saying, oh, I need to keep your master password to it. We're writing it on paper files and paper filing cabinets in their office. Anyways, those are the things that kind of scare me, but it wasn't my problem. I just spread the word. But the good news is that is not happening anymore after the acquisition. So, you think about how serious this is and what happened there. We want to make sure that we make it easy for you to do the things that you need to do without making it hard for you to do the things that you need to do. It's a little circular. So we have our CII triad here. It's the confidentiality, integrity, and availability, okay? Who should be able to log in the system at a certain time? When do they need to access it? And that's as simple as saying that, this group of employees, they work from 8 to 5 every day. So they should not be allowed to log in before 7:30 in the morning because I expect everybody to be early. So I want you to think about your cybersecurity plans, okay? And I'm gonna harp on this, and I always harp on it a lot, is two-factor authentication. Something you know, something you have. Get two-factor authentication for every alarm system, every access control system, every computer system, everything you have in place. Put that in place so you don't have an MGM issue on your hands where your fire alarms are going off at 6 p.m. and you have zero control off whether or not they do, and the fire department's walking in like, what the heck's going on? Well, I got ransomware today. And they're like, well, we got to shut the building down because your fire alarm's going off and we have to see what's going on. And it looks like, you called everybody out. So now you're also exhausting your local resources and making everybody upset and getting bills from the fire department. And it just keeps compounding on compounding. Think about this. This is kind of a tricky way to say this, but we have over-duplicated roles. We really don't like to have everybody in your company an admin on everything they do. You have to pick 2 or 3, an IT person, maybe a good assistant who's good with the stuff that's going to coordinate with the IT, maybe your owner. If you have IT, let them be the IT administrator that keeps you out of trouble, because that's unfortunately the ones that I have to rescue a lot are the owners, because we're very busy, we have a lot going on, we install the wrong thing, we're trying to get it done quickly. You don't need to have 10 global administrators in a company of 20, okay? Sometimes you have under-duplicated roles. You don't have enough people in place. So you're like, okay, nobody is going to be able to get in this place, so only I alone will be the global administrator of my organization. Great. And then you forget your password, and your two-factor authentication isn't working for some reason come Monday morning, and there's nobody to call, and now we're trying to brute force hack your accounts come Monday because you've got nobody else in it. So let's at least have 2 people in place. It's very important. Have 2 trusted contacts at a minimum in your organization. If you're a single organization, find a friend, find a spouse, find somebody who can be that second contact. It's a little unfortunate for freelancers because, hey, don't everybody should be the admin unless you only have 1 or 2 people. Then that's kind of the situation you're in. We have some other things we can do about that. Think about this: lack of offboarding and lack of onboarding actions. Okay? Is anybody here in HR? Do we all know what onboarding means? You become a new employee, we say you're onboarded, and then I fire you, now you're offboarded, okay? I should be your second call if I'm your IT guy and you fired somebody today. I fired Brooke, sorry.
Never happened.
And we're gonna have to lock the account out. Or she took a better position. Don't get me wrong, we love her. Wish her well. Let's make sure that account does not get hacked because she's not looking at it every single day. So let's turn that off very, very quickly so that we know that that's not an attack way that somebody can get in. I've gone in and I've seen accounts that have sat there for 5 years that we see recent logins on that they had no idea what they were from. I don't think the old employee cared that much after after 5 years to log into the role employer to see what their emails were, okay? Let's get those off your system pretty quickly and move on.